The moon has long been associated with witches and Wicca. It's also associated with the feminine in many cultures, especially within the Wiccan paradigm. And collecting moon water is also something that is very common amongst Wiccans and witches. It's a way of being able to gather the lunar energies and utilize those energies after the full moon. So today I'm going to be talking about moon water, how you can collect it and what you can use it for. But before I do, hi, I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com. If you're new to the channel and you want to learn more about Wicca, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. And if you want help with mapping out how to train in the Wiccan practice on your own, then do have a look at my free 20-minute video on how to start your witchcraft practice. You can download a copy via the link that's in the description field below this video. So moon water, glorious moon water. There's so much you can do with it. You can use it for scrying, you can drink it, you can use it in your spell work. You can bathe in it, you can water your plants with it. There's a lot of things you can do with it. But why would you? What's the whole point of collecting moon water? Water and the moon are very, very linked. As we know, the tides are influenced by the moon, our own moods. The water in our bodies, the 70% of our bodies, which is water, is influenced also by the moon. So it's got a huge connection with water. And water is very, very great at being able to absorb energy that is focused into it. So when you're collecting moon water, you're collecting the energy of the moon in order to be able to use it in your spell work or in your scrying. So it's beneficial to you in your work. How do you collect it? All you need is a bowl of some sort. I like to use either a clear bowl or my black scrying bowl if I'm going to be using it specifically for scrying. Simply because I like the reflective aspects of these bowls, but it doesn't actually matter so much what you collect it in. Just make sure that what you do collect the water in is actually been consecrated and cleansed magically, energetically and physically before you actually put the water in it. You can use any type of water. It doesn't matter whether it is water from the tap or whether it's purified water. If you're going to drink it, obviously you're going to want to make sure that it's water that you can drink and that it's clean and that it's fresh. And then you just put it in the bowl. It's that simple. Cleanse, consecrate your bowl, put some water in it, and then when the moon is full, so either a day before the full moon or a day after, you can still do it around that time, put it out under the moon. Now you want to make sure that you're putting it in a position where the moonlight's going to be shining directly on it as she travels across the sky. Now she doesn't have to shine on it for that long because even when the moon isn't shining directly, reflecting in the water, the lunar light is still reflecting everywhere when the moon is out at night. Even when the moon isn't out, we're still under that energy of the full moon. Even during the day when we can't see the moon, when she's over the other side of the planet, we're still under that energy of the full moon anyway. But when you're collecting it, you really want to get that light shining on your water. Make sure that you take the water away before the sun comes up. So you want to make sure that you're doing this at night. So when the sun goes down, put your water out. And then before the sun comes up, you want to take your water away because you don't want the solar influence in the water unless you do want a mixture of solar and lunar energy for whatever it is that you may be working with. So that's pretty much the easy part and it's a pretty simple thing to do. If you live in a climate where there's a lot of insects and you're concerned about them getting in your water, you could either strain the water afterwards or you can put something over the bowl, like some kind of tulle or mesh covering, or even one of those fly screen things that you can put over your food on the table. The light's still going to get in, so you can do that if you do live in a climate where there's a lot of insects. Otherwise, you can just leave it out without having any covering over it at all. And if there is anything in it the next day, then you can just strain it before you use it. When you want to keep your moon water, it depends how long you want to keep it for. If you're only going to keep it for a few days, it's okay to just put it in the fridge and use it as you need to. Especially if you're going to drink it, you want to make sure that it's still fresh if you're going to be drinking it. So if you're going to use moon water for drinking, then you want to make sure that you're doing the spell or the healing or whatever it is that you're doing within a couple of days of having collected your water. If you want to use it for other things down the path, like spell work, where it doesn't necessarily need to be absolutely drinkable, because you're not going to be drinking it, you can add some vodka to it to give it more longevity and use that in your spell work if that's the route you want to go down. Another thing to consider when you're collecting your moon water is the actual astrology. So what sign is the moon in? The full moon will be in a star sign. So what sign is it in? Because if whatever constellation it's in at the time, it's going to influence the water to that sign. So make sure that you know what sign it's in. It will have that little bit of extra energy in it and that bit of influence in it, which is great if you're wanting to do spell work and you're wanting to get specific about something. So if you're wanting to drink, say, some moon water for intuition and courage and confidence, or confidence using your intuition, for example, a Leo full moon would be a really good full moon to gather that energy, because you've got that confidence of Leo there, and you've also got that intuitive energy of the moon water. So you can think about it that way and work with the astrology as well, because there will be an astrological influence on your moon water depending on what sign it's in when you're collecting it. Now, there are a lot of different names for the moon, like, there's wolf moon, harvest moon. They're very local. So it depends where you are in the world as to what the folklore is going to be about the moon at that time of the year, wherever you are. So it's not the wolf moon all around the world. Only some cultures refer to it as the wolf moon. What's more important really is to look at your local area and what might be associated with the moon where you live. And above all, the astrology. The astrology really is probably got more of an influence on the moon than these names will have, especially if you live in a place where it's not really that relevant to it. Like a harvest moon here in Australia isn't harvest in Australia, it's actually the opposite, because it's a northern hemisphere name, harvest moon. So it's we're not harvesting at the time of the year, so it really is a local thing. So think more about the astrology and what's going on astrologically, more so than the different names of the moon. So what are you going to use your moon water for? Well, the first thing I think that stands out the most is to use it for scrying and anything to do with focusing and asking for some sort of insight, deep insight into something that needs to be revealed, because the moon is about the hidden. It's illusory, the moon, because the moon itself doesn't create the light that it shines. The moon reflects the light from the sun. So the light that we're getting from the moon is something that's been filtered by the moon and actually being reflected. So it's reflective light. It's reflected light. So it's to do with those reflective qualities that we're working with, receptive qualities. So use it for scrying because it will help engage your intuition more. It does help influence your ability to be more psychic and more in tune with your intuition and more connected with that sort of more hidden aspect of the psyche. It can also help reveal more of the illusion that's going on around you. It can help with contemplation about the meaning and reality of life and seeing the illusory nature of life. That what we see, hear, touch, taste and smell isn't all there is and isn't even what we think it is. We're not, things aren't solid things, they're actually vibrating. atomically. So the moon can help us focus on what the reality of nature may be as well. So you can use your scrying bowl to help you with that. Contemplation as well as scrying and divination. You can use your moon water in the bath. So if you're wanting to become more attractive, particularly if you're working with the more feminine energies of attraction, which is about attracting because it's magnetic, then you can have a lunar bath, or if you don't have a bathtub, you can still use the water in the shower. So you could either put it in a spray bottle and spray yourself with it, or you can put it in a cup and pour it over yourself while you're having a shower, or have a bit of a bird bath in your bowl if you're wanting to do it that way, maybe after you've had your shower, and use that energy to help become either more intuitive, so you can absorb that energy becoming more intuitive, to help you prepare maybe for a ritual. So maybe you've collected the moon water the night before the full moon, and you're going to have a full moon ritual that night. You may want to bathe in the moon water to help prepare you for your ritual, especially if you're doing spell work during that lunar rite. You can use your moon water that way with bathing. You can also use the bathing for healing as well, because the energy of the moon is also really great for healing. So you can use it for any aspect of that lunar energy. So for fertility, for attraction, for healing, for intuition, those sorts of things. You can work with the moon energy by having a bath or a shower or bird bath with your bowl of water that you've collected. Another great thing is to cleanse your space with moon water, especially if you're wanting to, again, add that sort of feminine touch to your home or your ritual area. You can either use it in water with a floor wash, or in a spray bottle to spray your home, or just sprinkle it around your home if you're wanting to cleanse it. If you're wanting the things to be more revealed, you can also do that with the moon water. You can also use moon water to make things more hidden as well. So if you're wanting to be a little bit more hidden for whatever reason, maybe you're feeling too exposed, too vulnerable, you can also use your moon water with the intention of actually being more illusory as well. And you can do that in the same way. Other ways that you can use your moon water is to charge and cleanse your water-friendly crystals. So make sure that when you're cleansing crystals, you're actually working with crystals that are friendly to water, because not all crystals can handle water. So the moon water, of course, can help cleanse your crystals. If you're dealing with crystals that have a connection to the moon, then you can supercharge your crystals with that moon water. If you're wanting to use your crystals in spell work or in healing work, and you're also wanting to work with that lunar energy, you can cleanse those crystals with that moon water so that you're getting more specific in the energy that you're working with. You can drink moon water. So if you've prepared your moon water initially so that you could drink it, then you can drink it for also these same reasons. Drinking it to make yourself perhaps more attractive, drinking it to help with your intuition, drinking it for healing work, drinking it to help with your scrying, with divination, to connect you with the lunar deities. You might want to work with a particular lunar deity, maybe like Selene or Diana, and to help you with that connecting, physical connecting. You can drink the moon water, you could bathe in the moon water, you can have the moon water there and even just wash your hands with it, if that's all that you can do during the rite, to connect you to the deity that you're working with. What else have I got here? I've written down here. I thought I'd write down some things so I don't forget. Drinking the moon water can also help you if you're practicing your psychic stuff. So if you're somebody who wants to be better with being able to maybe see auras, or to be able to be more receptive to being able to see into the future, or mediumship, or whatever it is that you might even be your number one skill, you can use more moon water to help you with that as well. Water your plants with it. okay? Give the plants some lunar energy as well, particularly the ones that resonate more with the moon. If you're wanting to consecrate a garden, so if you're wanting to make your garden like a sacred garden, particularly if you're growing a lot of herbs and a lot of plants that you're going to be using in your magic, you can water your plants with the moon water. Now the plants are already going to be exposed to the moon at night anyway because they're outside, but adding some moon water can also be a way of making it more sacred. If you live indoors, definitely watering your plants with that lunar light is something that they're going to love as well. Another thing is to anoint your candles. So if you're doing candle magic and you're wanting to work specifically with lunar energy, then anoint your candles with the water. So instead of using an oil that we normally use to anoint candles, you can do the same thing with your moon water. You could even mix your moon water up a little bit with some jasmine. So even though water and oil don't mix, they don't blend, you could still wash, so to speak, your candle with the moon water and then dress it with some jasmine or something if you're wanting to work with jasmine energy, which has got a very strong lunar energy. And of course your lunar spells. So if you're doing something that's specifically a lunar energy, and you're going to work on a Monday, which is the day of the moon day, then you can work spells for beauty, because beauty is associated with the lunar energy. You can work spells for your home. The home also comes under the lunar energies. You can work magic for healing, for fertility, for intuition, and for uncovering the hidden. So if you're wanting to do spell work for any of those things, you can use your moon water for that. So there's quite a few things you can do with moon water. Definitely have a lot of fun with it. It is certainly a fun thing to do and to help connect you to the moon and to connect you with your practice, because after all, that's what we're wanting really from the practice at the end of the day, is connection, and these practices are ways to help connect. So don't forget, if you do want to know more about how you can pace yourself in your Wiccan practice, do download, if you haven't already, the free copy of How to Start Your Witchcraft Practice. The link is in the description field below this video. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sandra and I'll see you on the next video. Blessed be.